we have the prophet Elijah here, and he finds himself in a famine. It's a huge drought. Like God is literally extracting all the water from the earth. And it says here, starting in verse 8, it says, "Some time later the brook had dried up there because there was no rain in the land. Then the word of the Lord came to him, Elijah, and said, 'Go at once to Zarephath in the region of Sidon and stay there. I have directed a widow there to supply you with food.' So he went to Zarephath. When he came to the town gate, a widow was there gathering sticks. He called to her and asked, 'Would you bring me a little water in a jar so that I may have a drink?' As she was going to get it, he called, 'And bring me, please, a piece of bread.' 'As surely as the Lord your God lives,' replied the widow, 'I don't have any bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. I am gathering a few sticks to take home and make a meal for myself and my son, so that we may eat it and die.' Elijah said to her, 'Don't be afraid. Go home and do as you have said, but first make a small loaf of bread for me from what you have and bring it to me, and then make something for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. The jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry until the day the Lord sends rain on the land.' She went away, and she did exactly as Elijah had told her. So there was food every day for Elijah and for the woman and her family, for the jar of oil was not used up, and the jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry, in keeping with the word of the Lord." In keeping with the word of the Lord. Notice what it doesn't say that God did. It doesn't say that God made her super prosperous and that all of a sudden she just got like houses and stacks of bread, or even flour and oil. It doesn't say that there was so much flour and oil that she couldn't count it. She doesn't like, bam, all of a sudden just become Betty Crocker and she just owns the bread industry of the land. Like, it doesn't say that. And the reason I believe it doesn't say that is because we all know if God were to answer something immediately, man, that would turn him into a genie, and all of a sudden there's a rising up of arrogance and pride in us because we think, oh, God is here to serve us in this capacity. If I just ask him, yes, it says ask and you shall receive, but we must check our heart's motives and intentions. Because she could have been tempted to think, well, man, if I had a surplus, this must be a great God. Like, I just pray one time and it's a surplus and all that. This is good. That's what the prosperity gospel teaches you. The prosperity gospel teaches that if you pray this, if you give a little bit more, oh, you're just going to receive all these things. But the reality is God did not just want her to receive this abundance of flour and oil. God wanted her to receive him.